now the competitive analysis part. Now you have set your business model up, you have point or you have listed down the high level points. Okay, then it starts with about understanding your market. What are your direct competitors? Okay, direct competitors which are already delivering the same service. Okay, so as I told you that if you are having uh, let's say 4 or 5, if you are having an industry which is not having a monopoly, okay, it is having a fair market or having a fair market, you can have different competitors. Okay, so you have to understand how they are delivering value, what sort of unique value proposition they are having. Okay, and then it is indirect competition. So if you're talking about a fintech company or a payment industry, let's say, we can have banks as an indirect competitors, or the Western Union or Master Visa card. Okay, so you have to also study your indirect competitors, what they are. Okay, and then potential customers, like they're not having and they're not having so much growth right now, but they can be a potentially strong customers or strong competitors. So you have to streamline and list down all your competitors and then put it into some classification criteria. Okay, let's say what sort of features they are having, those features are valuable to you, or whether it is valuable. Okay, what is a different thing that you are doing for all of these things, because this also is a very good indicator that if you're having a good business plan, these should be well identified. Okay, and there are actually 5 forces that I need to highlight over here, and this is very important also. Let me yeah. So once you have classified these things, you have seen that, okay, now you have to see the 5 forces, which is the bargaining power of customers. That, okay, if I'm having different competitors, okay, my customers will be having different options to buy it. Okay, so we have to understand that what sort of pricing model I'm keeping. If we can understand the bargaining power of our customer, that's one. Then it is a bargaining power of our suppliers. Okay, if I'm having different suppliers, or if I'm having a one supplier. So if I'm having different suppliers, I'm having some options. Okay, so I have to identify my suppliers also in that case. Then, is there any substitute of my product in the market? Okay, or is there any new entrant which is coming into the market? Okay, so first, once you have identified all your competitors, classify them like it's a new substitute product, or it's having what sort of buying power my supplier is having, what sort of buying power my customer is having. Okay, and then once you have studied all of these 5 forces, then we can prepare a strategy how to mitigate those things or how to perform better in those areas. Yeah, so I think this is will be a very good indicator if you can study these with these 5 forces, which is like the Porter 5 forces, which is like the bargaining power of supplier and buyer, the threat of new entrants, the substitution of the product. So this is, once you have classified, you will be in a better position to actually strategize your business according to that.
Right. And Taha, I think in my experience, many entrepreneurs that I know sometimes overlook this because they think their idea is so brilliant, is so unique, is so different, is so perfect that they ignore the competition or alternatives, substitutes to their idea. So when you ask them, they say, oh no, there is no competitors. There is no product like this anywhere. And you have just to bring Google and just Google just the idea, and you find 3, 4, 5, 10 companies doing the same, right? So what is your differentiation? How can you differentiate for them if you haven't done your homework? So this is part of the criteria that investors are looking for. So when an investor says to you as an entrepreneur, give me an analysis of your competition, and you said, oh, there is no competition, that is a dead giveaway that you haven't done your work.
Exactly.
Because there must be out there some degree of direct, indirect substitutes or alternatives to your product and your services. And you better know who they are, who are the leaders, what are they doing, what are the channels distribution they have, what the pricing structure that you have. Because if you don't, it will be extremely challenging for you to prove to an investor that you know what you're doing.
Exactly. I remember that I was one conference in Estonia, and there was a pitch up competition that has been happening, startup pitches competition, and I was happy to be one of the jury of that. And once that pitch over, when there is one product related to blockchain in supply chain. Okay, and I was asking this guy that, who are your direct competitors? He was like, we don't have any competition. We can have some indirect competitors, and we don't have any direct competitors. So people sometimes overlook this thing, but this is very important.
Right. It is. It is.
Hi, I am Josue Batista from What and Why First. I created this video blog to share with you my thoughts about relevant trends in leadership, strategy, innovation, and value creation. If you want to watch more videos, make sure you follow my blog so you never miss any of my new videos with more tips about technology and business. And if you are already a senior leader in charge of making decisions in your organization, and you would like to put some of these strategies in place for yourself, go to josuebatista.com and learn how I can help you.